Welcome back to another episode of the Bell Ringers podcast with yours truly, Ryan McDonald.
I'm Ty Press.
Trevor Lay.
As always, please follow us or subscribe and like us on YouTube and follow us at all of our handles down below, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, Bell Ringers Pod, and YouTube, The Bell Ringers Pod. Spotify, also Bell Ringers Pod. Follow us on there. Rate us, review, all of it. Just yesterday, our Philadelphia Phillies finally clinched the division. We are finally champions of the NFC East. Or wait, why am I?
NL
Yeah,
East.
you're right.
NL East. No, yeah.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. The boys are drinking, celebrating, having a good time in the locker room afterwards, and currently getting whooped by the Cubs on their hungover game. So,
Yep, 2 years in a row. We love it.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we don't
Scheduled
usually win
loss.
that game.
all right. So, what is our current playoff picture looking like?
The
Yeah, no.
Yankees. We'll go with the AL first.
Yeah.
The Yankees are 6 games up on the Orioles. They just have to win one game in their series right now to clinch the AL East.
Mm-hmm.
Guardians have clinched the AL Central, and the Astros are 4 games up on the Mariners and currently playing in a series. I believe the Astros have to win 2 of those to clinch the AL West, but the Mariners are also only a game and a half out of the wild card. Orioles hold the first spot in the wild card. The Tigers are in
Right.
second. They have been going nuts. At one point, they were 10 games out of the wild card picture and have roared back. No pun intended.
Roar.
They are a half game up on the Orioles for the third spot, and the Royals are a game up on the Twins, game and a half up on the Mariners, like I said. And then Red Sox and Rays are on the outside at 3.5 and 4.5 games back.
It is kind of surprising with like the AL. There's so many more teams like still technically in it. They only have 5 teams eliminated, whereas the NL there's only 4 teams still fighting for the last 3 spots.
Yeah, and when we did the halfway through the season, I remember it was much different. Like the AL was all super. There was a lot of teams super close, and the NL still may have been more, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
No, the NL was more, and now there's only one left. Shooting over to the NL, like Ryan said, our Phillies took longer than should have, but no complaining there. Won the NL East.
Yes, sir.
So the one thing I didn't
And
get
we
was
got
like I didn't get how like the Dodgers clinched their division like way before we did when we have a bigger lead on the Mets than they did on like the Padres.
The Dodgers haven't clinched a division yet. They just clinched a playoff berth.
Could have. Oh, well, yeah, okay, that's what I meant. But like, yeah, that still doesn't make sense to me then, because at that time we had a better record than they did.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's just the way it played out. Maybe because we still had to play the Brewers and the Mets 7 times.
Yeah, I was just say I was having the Mets so many matchups that I guess they could have switched the rankings. I'm not sure.
But like, it's like they had like more games left before than they could technically like. I guess it was like if. It with
Probably
like
just how it played out.
Yeah,
honestly,
I was
with
gonna
the
say.
schedules. The Brewers clinched the NL Central during our series with them. The Dodgers are in first in the NL West, 3 games up against the Padres, and are currently playing in a series which is criminal that none of them are nationally televised. Very stupid. The Padres are hot in the second half. They're in the 1 seed of the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Then another hot team that I don't really want to see in the playoff is the Mets.
Oh yeah.
Diamondbacks are in the 3 spot, and they're a game and a half up on the Braves. And the Braves and the Mets are currently playing in a series, which will be very interesting. Also criminal, not televised
Right.
nationally.
Would you rather see? Rather see the Braves and the Mets? I'm assuming.
Fuck no.
Really?
None of them. I don't want to see any of them. I
If you
want
had
the
to pick
2
between the
seed.
two, I feel like it's
I'd rather
obvious you want to see
see
the Braves.
I would rather see the Braves. Yeah.
I mean, I want to get the 1 seed so that we have home field advantage throughout.
Yeah.
No.
I do.
If we get the 2 seed, we play the Padres or most likely the Diamondbacks.
I'd much rather play the Mets or the Mets or the Brewers or the.
Or sorry, it was the Padres or the Brewers. It's the Diamondbacks or the Mets.
I was gonna say it wouldn't make sense for us
if we get the 1 seed.
Yeah, I think Diamondbacks not really worried about. Mets not really worried about that much either.
Wait, hold on. I'm tripping again. It's the Padres and the Mets if we get the one seed, or dude, confusion.
So
it is
we
the Brewers or the Diamondbacks if we get the one seed. It's the Mets or the Padres if we get the shit.
no.
Cut
So
that
okay.
out.
So if we
Someone
get the
figure it
if we get the one seed, we get the bye, and that would mean currently as it stands, Arizona would play the Brewers, and the Mets and the Padres would play each other. We would play the
Correct.
winner of the Mets and the Padres because they don't reseed
No,
after.
no.
Yes.
The one seed plays the winner of
The
the
4-5.
2-3.
No, the 4-5.
Yeah.
No, the two gets a bye.
We would play either the Brewers or the Diamondbacks if we're the 2 seed.
I was talking about the one seed.
Yeah, but I'd rather the 2 seed because you played the Brewers or the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, so we just agreed on who would be the.
You're at the same team. It's just you
Yeah.
want to play different opponents.
Correct.
But you told me okay.
Because I don't want to see
God,
the Padres or the
fucking
Mets.
hell.
Yeah, I was just explaining what would happen based on these things, and you said no.
I move on to college football, dude. I'm gonna blow my brains out in a second.
Great game. Michigan beats USC. Then a little bit of
Oh,
a shocker. Illinois beat Nebraska in overtime. I didn't really think that was going to happen.
No, I had Nebraska winning that one too. Yeah.
Missouri barely beat Vanderbilt, and they went on a missed field goal, which I can't even imagine what that Vanderbilt kid went through this week. Did not see Kansas State getting blown out by BYU. Kind of thought that'd be the other way around.
I did tell you that I knew they were not going to get pushed all the way out of the rankings. They only got pushed back to 23. I think BYU got put at 22 right in front of them
Northern Illinois, don't even know how we're touching on them.
because they
Lost
were
to
technically
unranked
they were
Buffalo.
technically ranked. So I just had in there all the ranked teams that lost.
Last ranked
I
Northern
have-
Illinois loses to just unranked Buffalo.
Well, they're ranked 23rd. They weren't last ranked. They were 23rd.
I have a gripe, which probably won't be a surprise to anybody who's listened to me bitch about this before. 19 ranked Illinois comes to Happy Valley and plays Penn State. James Franklin needs to shut the fuck up. Stupid. Whiteout energy for what?
He says this for almost
It's
every home
fucking
game. You just have
Illinois,
to get
dude.
used to it.
What's funny about this is is gonna everybody's gonna get hyped about it. It's gonna work, and then he's gonna try to do it again later in the season, and he's gonna look like a fucking clown.
No, he does it he does it for almost every home game.
No, I've never heard him say that, or make like a
that's-
fucking trailer for it.
I know he's said this for just about every home game. That's
Bro, they made a
against
huge
a Big
trailer
Ten
for
opponent.
it, and I've been talking about them making a second whiteout game this year.
It's I just know
silliness.
when I was at school, we literally got an email almost every week saying wear white.
Bring that whiteout energy.
It was
to every
other, like
game.
unless
Yeah,
unless
you
it
don't
was
need
like
to tell
designated
them.
unless it was designated as a stripe out game, we got told to wear white every single week. At least again, if it was against like any sort of like decent opponent, if it was against like Akron, I don't think they cared. But I mean, you got a couple of close ones. You got like 20 Oklahoma State and at 23 Kansas State. It's gonna be a big play or a big matchup for the Big 12. You got 15 Louisville at 16 Notre Dame. That's gonna be a good one. Big one of the
They're
week though.
frauds.
Yeah, but Georgia at Alabama, two
Mhm.
top 5 teams. That's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's a big one.
I do think Georgia's probably gonna beat them pretty easily.
Okay.
I don't think Jalen Milroe's good.
We'll go into our week 3, just scores, and I guess
Yeah.
we can point out
I
which
will.
games we blew on our picks.
Yep. I'm just gonna start that now and just do that and go through them. So week 3, I know I went 2-2. I won Kansas City -3.5 at Atlanta, and I won Chicago at Indy under 43.5. I lost Detroit at Arizona at Arizona +3, and I lost Houston at Minnesota over 46. That one was kind of close. Ty lost Denver at Tampa Bay -6.5. That was a straight up loss as well.
Unreal, yeah.
But then I got it back with Green Bay +2 at Tennessee. They handled Tennessee pretty
Straight
easily,
up-
to be honest.
straight up win.
Yeah, I mean they won by like
Mhm.
16 points. Lost at Detroit at Arizona over 51.5. Ended at 33,
A little
and
shocking.
won
That was a
the
boring ass game.
won
Considering
the
the matchup.
won the under with me. Chicago at Indy under 43.5.
Yeah,
You got Trevor with the best week of the week, 3-1.
Good job, Trev.
Job, Trev.
Thank you.
He
Thank you.
won the Kansas City -3.5 at Atlanta with me, and the one that we kind of dogged him for while he wasn't here, Washington +7.5 at Cincinnati. He
Yeah,
got the dub,
absolutely.
so we are sorry. He
I
lost.
also was dogging
I'll
you guys
tell
for
you-
Kansas City because I did not
Yeah.
think Kansas City was covering.
Never been against them. I saw earlier in the week that They were really high on getting Terry McLaurin really involved. And the way the Bengals have been playing, like that's just really all the Commanders need to do. And
Yeah.
they did just that.
Just weird. Like it seems like they play up to good teams, they play down to bad teams.
It was good to see Jaden McDaniels. Well, not really good for us, but it was cool to see him throw the ball around and actually like be accurate with it and not just run every play. Good for my fantasy team too. Thank you.
All right,
And
what were
then-
the other picks?
Well, still not done.
That's what I'm saying. Finish his picks.
Oh, I think you're talking about. Oh, my bad. He also lost Philly at, or his only loss, Philly at New Orleans over 49.5. We know that was
Doesn't
a very
make
low
sense.
scoring game.
That was a
Defensive
rough
step
game.
up.
Rough watching game for the over.
Yeah. And then he won his under Chargers at Pitt under 35.5. And then the wheel had a tough week on 1-3. Had New Orleans minus 2.5. That lost. Had Atlanta plus 3.5 against Trevor and I. Lost that. Had the over Houston at Minnesota over 46. That lost. And won the under Detroit at Arizona under 51.5.
Went against me there.
Yep. So that leaves us with Trevor and I both at 7-5 on the year, and Ty and the wheel both at 5-7.
It's all right. We'll be right back.
Trevor has one 3-0 pick, which is the under. Hasn't lost an under yet. Everyone else has a loss in at least every single pick.
Pretty sure my
Everybody's
under was
under.
good last year too.
I
think.
could pull that up actually.
All right. Well, no.
While you do that,
Go
I'll
through
we'll
that.
just
Yes.
start with this.
Your under was actually in fact not good. It was well. It was
This is my
one
dog.
of your over was the best 10-8.
We switching it up. The kind
Sorry.
of shockers of the week was the Vikings blowing out the Texans 34-7.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more
The Broncos dismantling the Buccaneers.
That really pissed me off. I got
26-7.
really upset picking them in my
Survivor.
survivor pool, and then just like immediately seeing them down 14-0, and then every single time like when red zone would go back to them, the Broncos had the ball again. I'm like, what is going on? I was saying my other thought was to take the Raiders over Panthers. So I would have lost anyway, or the Niners over the Rams. All of them lost. So
Yep.
Yeah, very bad look for Bryce Young. The Panthers actually looked like a football team
Put
and
up
beat the Raiders
36
36-22.
yeah,
They said Andy Dalton scored more touchdowns today with the Panthers than Bryce Young, or passing touchdowns than Bryce Young has in the last like 10 weeks.
Yeah.
It's like
Like-
a crazy stat. It looks
like
real bad.
I mean, and also I think Andy Dalton had like 200 plus yards and like 2 touchdowns or like 3 touchdowns in the first half, or like it was like he had like I think he might have had like 200 plus yards in the first quarter, and it was like this.
He had more passing touchdowns in the first half than Bryce Young has had, I think, over the past however long it was, but it's a long time. Like, doesn't make any sense.
It might have been the stat I just said. I think 10 weeks.
Yeah, that was probably it. Yeah. Commanders Bengals was a great game. 38-33 Commanders. May have been the only person on earth to see that coming besides PFT.
Yeah.
That I mean,
And-
it's also a tough one because like with that when the Bengals went for 2 to try and go from being down 5 to being down 3, that was kind of pass interference that they just completely missed. So like the Bengals like they almost like back to back, or like was it last week that they lost to the Chiefs, or was that 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, I think week 2.
Like to go back to back weeks, like one week you get called on that ruins your chances of winning, and then this one it doesn't get called to then hurt you. It's like, all right, what are we gonna do here? Are you gonna call the pass interference or you not?
Yeah, definitely some big upsets. I was just saying to Trevor before this is like probably the hardest season so far to do our picks in, because there's just no consistency by any team whatsoever. And like the only teams that semi look consistent, I mean, obviously Chiefs are still winning, but like the Vikings, like I can't look at the Vikings and be like, this is probably gonna be the week that they implode. But like it just isn't happening.
I mean, we probably have like one of the lowest amounts of undefeated teams left that we've ever had.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Like a lot of them lost this past week.
Yeah.
I think
Um,
didn't Seattle lost, and then I think it's just
No,
the Chiefs.
it's-
It's Chiefs,
no,
Vikings.
Seattle won.
No, Seattle's undefeated.
Seattle's still undefeated.
Yeah.
2 more games to touch on from this past week. The Ravens beat the Cowboys, thank you. But the Ravens have a very big problem in the fourth quarter that they need to get figured
Yeah.
out. Doesn't make sense.
Almost blew that game.
Yeah. And then the Bills dismantled the Jaguars. They look like a real team. And Josh Allen came out and said, it's nice to have players on the roster that aren't worried about personal stats. They just want to do the
Ooh.
job.
Love to hear
straight
that.
shots at Stephon
Yeah.
Diggs.
I will say the one thing about the Ravens is he finally got Derrick Henry going. I mean, he had 151 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think it's the formula against this Dallas Cowboys is just
Yeah,
run
they
the ball
can't
down their
stop it.
throat because they can't stop anything in the
Yeah.
middle.
But like kind of like we've said before, like Derrick Henry, like he gets going more a little bit like halfway through the season and beyond when he can
Yeah.
kind
Yeah,
of
when
like
people start getting beat up, they don't
Yeah.
want to tackle them.
so like maybe it's starting to come around where Tractor Cedo is going to start putting up those 150-yard games again.
All right.
I think a big part of it was really the Cowboys being bad at the
Well,
run, but I would like
that's-
to see Derrick Henry get going.
That's kind of
Yeah.
where it is kind of going to be confusing. It's like what teams are actually bad and what teams are actually good. Like it's kind of like Ty said, it's hard to make these picks when it's kind of all over the place.
You can't build a good team based off of who beat who because literally like
Yeah.
everybody beat a team that they shouldn't have beaten, and then that team lost to another. It's like you
Well, that,
can
like,
go
I-
down the line and like the Panthers beating the Raiders, they're better than the Ravens.
Yeah.
Then. Like it doesn't.
Well,
There's
yeah.
every team can get like kind of debunked like that.
I mean, we're
Any given Sunday.
soon going to be able to make like that big circle where it's like, oh, like this team lost it. Like you can connect
Yeah.
every team to beating the other one and be like,
Yeah.
all right, well, technically they could beat anyone.
And usually that happens like week 15.
Yeah.
It's going to happen week 5.
We're talking about if the Cowboys are actually good or not.
No,
If they can't
stinky.
pull out, if they can't pull out a win this week against the New York Giants on Thursday Night Football, it's over.
Oh, dude, they'll
you
win
saw
I
by
mean,
the team.
Malik Neighbors is kind of hot now though. He's
Yeah,
he's
he's
playing
sick.
nice.
Yes, he
but-
is. He's balling. But
They're
yeah,
going to win
that's
by 40, and then everyone's going to be back on them.
Yeah, back on Dallas. But yeah, I don't actually. I'm gonna pull up all the spreads. I just had the games up, but
I have them
They
all.
play Thursday night, and the Cowboys are 6-point favorites
6 points. Yeah,
in New York.
Yep.
with a
I think
45 total. I personally, I think the Cowboys can cover 6, and
I really
honestly,
think
I might
they're
even
gonna
hit
cover
that over, too.
themselves. Yeah, I think they're going to cover the over themselves. Truthfully,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think we've seen like their defense is not as nearly as good as we thought in the beginning. So I think the over's fine.
To touch back on the Cowboys' run defense, Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni better be paying attention to that.
oh my god, well,
They
that's
probably
probably having Saquon this year. We have to be able to just destroy them with it.
Well, he had
But-
5 touches in the first half. So
Yeah, I was gonna say,
let's
knowing
not ever
the
do that
Eagles.
again.
It'll take a whole half to realize, oh, maybe we should run the ball in this team that can't stop the run.
All right, so we all agree Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys
Yep.
over.
Let me move into Sunday first. The 1 o'clock games I got Cincinnati -4.5 at Carolina over 148.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is one of the ones where it's like, I mean, Andy Dalton's kind of looking good with the Panthers, but there's no way they cover 4.5.
I just think
Like-
they won't cover it because the Bengals literally need to win. Like
Yeah,
they need
like
to,
they're
I mean, yeah, I don't see the Bengals going. I think this would be 0-4, right? They haven't won yet. So
Correct.
this against the Panthers, I can't see. And again, isn't it technically be a no? Is the Panthers? Yeah,
It's not a
revenge game
divisional
of
game.
Andy Dalton. Andy
Yeah.
Dalton back against Cincinnati Bengals again. But yeah, to your point, I'm shocked the Bengals are 0-3 at this point. I don't see them going to 0-4 against the Panthers. So
yeah, no.
I could see them covering 4.5. And I don't know. With the way the Panthers were put up points so easily, I could see this. It's 48.5.
Well,
That's
it's
a lot.
I think I probably would say over just because of the fact that it seems like Cincinnati's defense hasn't stopped any team from scoring points.
yeah. They gave up 38
Yeah.
to Washington. So
Like it's
Yeah.
like I don't think they kept really anyone like even like close to 20.
Mm-hmm.
only the Patriots, which they're the
Yeah.
Patriots. So
So yeah, I'd say over as well then.
I mean,
Next, I have Denver Broncos at New York Jets.
Yep.
Jets are -7.5 here with a 38.5 point spread. The only one I would confidently say that under. I know it's low, but it's two stout defenses. I don't think they're putting up 20 points each. I know Bo Nix just played well, but
I could
not
see,
against the Jets
I mean,
defense. I don't think he will.
yeah. I mean, I'd probably still say under, but I think there's a chance that Rodgers kind of puts up a bunch of points on him himself.
Yeah, but Denver's got a solid defense too.
Yeah, but Rodgers is also a solid player.
Rodgers.
yeah, he looked really, really good
Yeah.
last week.
That's
did.
kind of
And-
that's what I mean.
7.5.
Yeah, I don't know. The Broncos gave up 30 points to the Colts, so
you.
26 points to the Seahawks. I mean, the offense is pretty good. Yeah, I don't know. I think the Jets it seemed like they kind of figured it out last week. Like Rodgers
Yeah.
was slinging the ball.
Mm-hmm. And they got a double-headed or two-headed monster.
Yeah.
With the running backs right now with Brees
Brees.
Allen and Bryce Hall.
Yeah.
I don't see a nasty running back duo. So
Yeah,
Maybe they
Brees Hall.
lean onto that, but I'd say under. And
I'd take the
I don't
7.5
know.
with the Jets.
You take 7.5 for the Jets?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I might.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know. I
actually,
mean,
I'm not.
if it goes under, I think I have to go with the. Like, I
Yeah.
think the Jets will win, but if it goes under, I don't know if they're gonna.
Well, it's just 'cause, like, I mean,
agree.
like,
If I'm
Denver.
taking under, I'm taking
I
the
don't.
Broncos.
It's just because, like, I think Denver was able to score last week because the Buccaneers don't have a good defense, but the Jets have a really good defense. So
Yeah.
Bo Nix is probably going to throw the ball and throw it into
Yeah,
the
okay,
defense all the time.
Lots of field goals, maybe.
I still don't think
I just think it's going to be a lot of turnovers from Bo Nix. Next up, I got Jacksonville at Houston. Houston's -7, over under of 45.5. I mean, Jacksonville looks like they look terrible this year so far. They look absolutely awful.
But Houston looked like shit last week.
Yeah, I mean, they really haven't. I mean, they beat the Bears, but kind of like just barely. They barely beat the Colts week 1. Really haven't looked good at all. So I kind of want to take the Jags +7.
Yeah.
I mean Dougie P on the hot seat, so
Yeah.
I think the Jags will cover.
I'm going under 45.5.
This was one of the ones where, like, kind of like I said, like, it's so confusing because I could see it going over. Jacksonville, I feel like, has not really been able to put up points at all this season.
And I mean, unless Houston like wakes up from the last game,
Yeah.
they did not put up points last week.
Yeah, I like the under as well.
So I'd go Jags under.
Yep, that's fine.
LA Rams at Chicago Bears. Bears are -2.5, and it's a 41 total.
The fact that the Bears are favored is kind of surprising to me.
It's weird. You have to take them. That's just a weird thing to see.
Because
I knows.
know with everything like the Rams are missing, but they did just beat the Niners.
Yeah.
So it's like you think they can't beat the Bears?
It freaks me out though. Caleb played really good this week too.
It doesn't make sense, and that's one where you just can't even second guess it. You just have to roll with the fucking.
I know, but like my only logic is like, dude, like you're getting a like strong Bears defense against the Rams without their 2 best wide receivers.
Yeah,
like I don't think they're moving the ball in the air at all.
And like I mean, like Caleb did pass it for more yards like this past week, but they still lost the game.
I don't know. I think I'm taking the Bears here.
Big Cat was saying this, but they can't run the ball even a little bit.
No.
Swift has looked awful.
Their offensive line's not that good.
I thought they would have so many weapons that he would be able to like be good, but I was way wrong on that.
It's funny. I saw like Bleacher Report posted like like what we think every team needs to do to fix their team, and what they had was for in the offseason for the Bears to sign Chris Godwin. I was like, you think what they need is another weapon and not offensive line help?
Yeah,
that's not going to help them at all.
Yeah. With Keenan Allen,
with another wide receiver is not going to do anything.
Roma Dunes that you need to add another wide receiver.
I like the Bears on the under in this game.
I'd probably go Rams under.
All right, next big rivalry game: Minnesota Vikings at Green Bay Packers.
This is another
over
one
under.
I know.
You got Green Bay -2.5, over under 43.5.
Well, I mean, I would say possibly because they were talking about Jordan Love coming back last week. You don't know; he could be back this week.
Yeah, I mean, still the Vikings look very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. For me, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. You're taking Vikings.
Give me Minnesota +2.5. It's my pick.
That is your pick?
Yeah.
Okay. I would say I'd confident that with Willis, but if Jordan Love comes back for the Vikings game, I think the Packers win that.
But even like the Packers or the Vikings have made all their QBs just look dumb. Like QBs that we consider like pretty decently up there. I think their defense is good enough, and I think for some reason whatever Kevin O'Connell's doing on offense is making it work. I think they win this game outright.
I don't have this game.
I'm gonna go against what I just said about the Bears game and take the Vikings. I don't know. I'm gonna take the over too. I like the over.
Yeah, the over. I like.
I'm going Packers over.
You guys not have a pick yet?
No, not yet. I think this is my first one coming up.
Yeah, New Orleans at Atlanta. Atlanta -1.5, over under of 42 points.
Yeah, I took the over on this game actually.
Okay.
I like that. I mean, the Saints definitely will not play like that again.
No, I was gonna say I think we had Quinyon locking up Rashid Shaheed, but I think we have one of the dirtiest second number 2 cornerbacks in the league. I think the Saints will get back to being able to put Shaheed deep.
Yeah, I mean,
and expose a defensive cornerback. And
the Falcons do have a good
defense. Is Jalen Carter? I think they're gonna get back to Kamara, the deep play with Shaheed. I think Saints can put up points, and then the Falcons I mean, yeah,
Falcons
they
have
lost
a
to the Chiefs.
Falcons
but
have
they've
a
been doing
pretty
well.
Falcons have a pretty good defense. They have Terrell Edmonds and Jesse Bates. I mean, I'm not saying that
Yeah,
you're wrong, but that's kind of. I mean, it's only
I think
42. I don't hate it, but it's just I think you're underestimating how the
Good Falcons
quality of
D
the,
is.
the Falcons, defensive backs.
Yeah, I just don't.
Mm.
I can't see the Falcons D line playing as well as ours did.
yeah.
Like they're good, but I don't think they're going to. Like they were just out of their mind Sunday, and they had Shaheed on a deep pass, but Quinyon made an amazing play.
Right.
Yeah,
I think the Saints win this game and goes over.
I think there's a chance the Falcons win it. That's I kind of wanted to stay away from.
I
This
definitely
in
could
terms
see.
of picking the side.
I could see the Falcons winning, but I
Yeah,
just think
I'm
the
not-
Saints
I'm not
that
confident
bounce
Saints win.
back after that they got embarrassed.
I'm not confident about Saints win, but I think it's going to hit the over. For my reason for saying the over, I think it's going to be Saints over.
Yeah. I wonder are they gonna get? I wonder if the Saints are gonna get that lineman back that they lost against us this week.
But also, fuck the Saints because they're dirty.
Yeah, that dude actually should be put in
gross.
jail.
You're dirty.
All right, so you have the over. Trevor, you had no picks on that, right?
Nope.
All right. Go on to the Eagles game. Eagles -2.5 at Tampa Bay, over under of 45 points.
No one better be touching this game.
I'm not. I told you after losing the first 2
I
weeks,
think
I
the
will not touch
only.
it.
I think we need to make a rule that we can only touch the over and unders in the Eagles games from now on.
Yeah.
I mean, I made a personal
Ryan
one. I'm not going
Dumas
to touch the
loses
game
the
at all.
I don't know. Hopefully that seeing the run in the run game in the second half, they just lean heavy on that again. It opens up a lot for Jalen,
Yeah.
and we probably won't have both of our top receivers unless AJ comes back, but I don't think that's likely.
But I mean, like after seeing
You
like what
see Braden Covey's hurt too. He's going to be out for several weeks, so it's going to be Jahan Dotson, Johnny Wilson, and
nice,
I think someone Campbell. But yeah, we lost Covey as well.
nice.
All right,
So if you looking at
definitely
stats,
like the under.
people would say he's our number 3 wide receiver right now over Jahan Dotson because he's getting targeted more.
I would hope
Like-
like with like what we saw. I mean, Denver kind of like just didn't let him score any points last week. I'd hope our defense would be able to hold up, just help our
Yeah,
offense out, just let us run the ball out, kind of put the time down.
I don't hate the Eagles spread. I would take that, and then I'd definitely take the under with how many injuries we have.
Mhm. Yeah. I agree.
Dallas Goedert is going to have to eat for the.
I mean,
again,
he
for-
came back last week. I hope it's going to stay. I mean, he's a valuable part of our offense.
He dominated last
Especially
week.
with-
170
That's what I mean. Like, he's a
170
valuable
yards.
part of the offense. Like, hopefully he can keep that going and he doesn't just get forgotten about again.
Moving on, I got Pittsburgh at Indianapolis. I
Yep.
believe this
So-
is my
It's the last of the 1 o'clock games.
last 1 o'clock games. There's also I have 2 picks on this game.
I have one. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure we are going to do.
I also have 2 picks on this game.
Oh,
Hey,
I
Trevor,
wasn't-
I'm taking the
I wasn't sure
Steelers
we're-
-2 and the under.
I have 1.5, but yeah, I'm taking the Steelers and the under.
I see. I also have the under. All right, so we're all the under.
Oh boys.
I wasn't sure if we were going to do. You could pick the same game or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I said before you joined when we were waiting for you, I said to Trevor, I was like, I think I might have 2 on the same game, and Trevor went, I have 2 on the same game
Okay.
too. I was like, all right, fine,
All right.
I'll do it.
Well, going forward, all right, I'll just keep that in mind. All right, so you guys have both Pittsburgh and the under. Is that what it was?
Pittsburgh
Yep.
and the under. All
I
right, that's
do not hate that.
We have to be watching this game together.
That game might not touch my TV at all, honestly.
That kind of scares it. It kind of makes it seem like the under is definitely not going to hit because we
I was
all
gonna
just
say,
got
it
one.
was a lot of
Has-
This is all. I mean, this is all riding on. I mean, technically, if you look at it combined, we are a combined 7-2 on our unders. So
okay.
it's actually probably the best stat we could have altogether.
Yeah,
I don't
all right,
think
I
the
like the sound of
Steelers have hit the over in a single game they've played in yet. Yeah, they haven't.
No, I mean it's ridiculous. I
They
mean, their
haven't even-
defense is nice.
30 is the most points that have been scored in a Steelers game.
Is Russ
Yeah,
coming back
we're looking
soon?
Good.
But also, like, if Russ does come back, do they even put him in?
I don't think they do
No.
yet. You can't put them in on an undefeated team.
Well, that's kind of my thought too. It's like clearly Fields isn't really doing that much, but he's getting you guys wins. And like I
Yeah.
feel like, as weird as Fields
I think
is,
a stick
I
figure,
feel like
but
Russell
honestly.
Wilson is probably just a terrible like leader. He just all about himself, does not care about the team as much. So I think
Yeah, I mean, I think the vibes are with Fields right now.
yeah, exactly.
All right,
All
that
right,
was
well, that's
exciting,
it.
boys. So, means I have -2 and the under, and Rise got the under.
We go to watch the fucking the wheel has like the over and the fade. So we got the first 405 game. We got New England at San Fran. San Fran's -10 over under 39.5 points. I mean,
-10 crazy. But
that is New England is also Brady poo poo.
bad.
I'm doing it again.
Uh-oh.
Give me the Patriots.
I mean,
Oh, shit.
I don't hate it because it is kind of too many points.
That is a
That's
lot of
it's
points.
a lot of points. New England
Brock
does
Purdy
play
might not play. Debo Samuel's out again.
Oh, I forgot
CMC's
about
out
that.
Again. Fun fact that I just saw today: the team that has been the biggest underdog each week so far this year has won the game.
That's pretty crazy.
I do not think the Patriots will win this game, but
That
I
would
do
be
think they cover 10.
amazing. You think they cover 10 though? I can see it. I can
Well,
definitely
it's
see it, especially without all those options.
It was funny last week when you weren't here. I had a stat that was it was like I forget what the exact number was. It was either 5 or like 6. Every team that was like favored like or +5, 6 or more, they covered the spread for the first 2 weeks. And I saw you put in Washington. I was like, Trevor might also know the stat. That might be why I put that there. I don't know for sure,
Yeah.
I
but
did not. I
And
saw.
I went
today-
against it into the
yeah, and
or
lost.
the box, and I lost.
Yeah, I literally saw today, like this morning, that the team that has been underdog by the most points in the week has won the game outright.
That's crazy.
That is also just another nod to the fact that this NFL season has been crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
So until that loses, I will continue to do it.
We move into the second of the 4 or 5 games. Washington at Arizona. Arizona's -3.5 over under of 50.5 points. I don't know. It
This
is a
is my
high
last
over,
pick.
but
Uh-oh.
This is my last pick. I'm taking the over.
all right.
I think the Commanders give up a lot of points, and I think the Cardinals need to score a lot of points this week after last week.
50 and a half is a
Understood
lot,
that.
but I think in your defense, I think the Commanders kind of figured out how to make this offense work. I can definitely see 50 and a half work. I like
Yeah, I
it.
don't hate it. I'm gonna take Arizona -3.5 here.
Ooh.
I know they did just upset the Bengals, but I do once again. I mean, I like Arizona a lot. They kind of get it back rolling again this week. And I think
Not that it matters much, but I think it moved to 3.
Okay.
I'm still looking at 3.5 right now on DraftKings. So Rise taking Cardinals -3.5. Next game we have is Cleveland at Las Vegas. Raiders are favored by 1 point.
Yeah,
We
this is
got a
still 3.5.
pick 'em game here, and the over/under is 37.
Gross.
Yeah, this is just going to be a bad game. I think I had the Raiders winning this after getting absolutely embarrassed by the Panthers.
But I've heard they're thinking about a QB change possibly. I know Cleveland's been bad, but are they? I don't think the Raiders are a good team either.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Cleveland's defense is going to be too good for them.
That's kind of my
truthfully.
thought.
So I would lean the Browns and the under.
Yeah, I like
for
the
me.
under.
Yeah, I'm saying Raiders under. The other
Then-
425 game is Kansas City Chiefs at LA Chargers. And if you want to talk about a controversial topic, the Chargers had their star safety. I'm blanking on is it Derwin James?
Derwin James, yeah.
Yeah.
Derwin James got suspended for I guess breaking their safety rules with like a dirty hit, you'd say. But nothing has come out against the guy who hit Devontae Smith. But he's suspended for 1 game. Chargers' best probably defensive guy outside of Bose. He's suspended 1 game, and it's the game they're playing the Chiefs.
I don't really think it would matter, truthfully.
I don't think the Chargers.
I don't think they're going to have Justin
Anyway,
Herbert this week.
something.
I did not realize that. I mean, that doesn't help my pick, but I think I'll be fine. I am taking the over 39 as my last pick.
Over 39.
I think it'll be fine too.
Yeah, I mean that's too to me. That's just you give me a Chiefs game and you put me an over under in the 30s. That's too low.
I mean, if anything, right, that would help your pick because the
Well, not really.
Chargers lost the defensive guy.
Well, no, he was talking about Herbert. The defense of
Yeah,
Derwin James, yeah, but Herbert being out. But I mean, the Chiefs and an over under in the 30s, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that as a logical way of thinking, especially with the Chiefs not having Pacheco. Like they're gonna be moving through the air more than not. I like it.
Apparently, Herbert came into the last game with a high ankle sprain and tried to
Yeah.
play through it. I could see him probably doing that again this week, but will he make it the whole
Yeah.
game? No, probably not.
I feel like they'll probably try and get him to do that with the fact that it's a divisional matchup, and I'm sure Harbaugh wants to play his first game against the Chiefs and hopefully try and do well. Put in
My final pick coming with the Sunday night game: Buffalo Bills at Baltimore Ravens. We haven't put it together yet. I still need a dog, and I'm taking the Buffalo Bills plus 2.5.
I don't hate that. Bills have looked good. Baltimore has not looked the greatest. It's
Yes,
kind of where
I
it's like
agree.
they beat the Cowboys, but are the Cowboys good or are they bad? Probably bad. So
The Ravens looked so good until the fourth quarter, though.
Yeah,
Like they look like they figured out their offense of just run the football.
But if they're going to give up the fourth quarter, we've watched Josh Allen single-handedly come back and win the game. In the I think maybe he started in the half, but third and fourth quarter, Josh Allen turns it on.
Yeah, I also didn't know that the Ravens ranked 32nd in passing yards allowed, but ranked first in rushing yards allowed.
All right, James Cook doesn't have a great game, but Keon Coleman gets another one.
that doesn't bode well for the Bills. I don't can figure that out. He's a good passer.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
All
Bills plus 2.5 is my final pick. That's my dog. And it is over. The total is 46.5.
I like that over.
I would take the over because
Yeah.
the Ravens will probably be up 24-7 and then blow it.
Yeah.
And
I like
we hit
that.
the over.
Final game, Monday night. Kind of a poopy game.
Yeah,
Titans at Miami Dolphins.
This is a
Dolphins
game you
are
just go to
minus
sleep
Yeah.
on normal time.
36.5.
They need to allow flexing all season.
Yeah, this is a bad
sucks.
one.
Good thing we have two of them on Monday night, though.
Oh yeah, I didn't have that either. The heck?
Titans, Dolphins, 7:30. Seahawks, Lions, 8:15.
Yeah, now I see it. Okay. All right. Well, I missed that one.
Why?
I love that they're doing this. It's electric. I think it's the last week they're doing it, though.
Yeah, I mean, I see it now, but it wasn't there initially.
Titans game, Will Levis stinks. Ryan was right. Big dick energy doesn't matter. And Dolphins are injury prone. Probably the under.
Just
And
Tyler.
I'd probably take the Dolphins.
Yeah, I wonder if Tyler Huntley starts this game. I wonder because they did sign him over.
That's a whole game I didn't look at for picks.
The Dolphins signed him
They got him. I think they signed him right away from like the Ravens practice squad.
after this past week.
No, before like right
Ooh,
after Tua got
yeah,
hurt.
you definitely could see him.
Are we expecting Kenneth Walker back this week? I think he was like kind of close to a game time decision with, not game time, but he was questionable for this last week. I think we might be getting Kenneth Walker back for Seattle.
Charbonnet's kind of sick.
Charbonnet is doing good, but which I hate, but I did have him.
He won me a 2-touchdown bet the other day.
Yeah,
Love that.
he won me a fantasy game yesterday. I don't know.
Feels
I don't know if that's
not
gonna make
too
me pick
good.
the.
I mean,
I'm not.
I
I
like
think
the
I'd
Lions
say
anyway.
Lions, but I'm definitely wanting the over here.
Yeah, we got Lions 3.5, and then over. I don't hate either. Over 47.
Yeah, I kind of like the bounce back games where like good teams.
Like,
Wait,
shouldn't
no,
have
the
lost.
Lions
They
won,
lost.
right?
Yeah, they
The
beat
Lions
the
Lions
Cardinals.
won
Yeah,
20-10.
but I mean,
I still see the Lions at home winning this. I kind of like the spread as well. I don't know about the over. That's kind of hard.
I think I'd probably go over just because. Actually, I don't know because I mean, the Lions
46, 36, 33.
Lions did keep the Cardinals down to like 13
Yeah,
points
and
last
they only
week.
scored 20 against
The
Cardinals. so-
Lions game hasn't hit this over yet.
Yeah,
I
so
like
all right,
looking at that when I'm
Yep.
calculating stats.
you're making me pick
Yeah.
the under there then.
I'm
Yeah,
staying
I
with
like
it.
I like the under as well.
All right.
All right, Rye, spin that wheel.
Here, I forgot to put that last game in there, so we're just gonna disregard that one. Don't worry about it.
I didn't count it for my picks either.
I swear when I was going through and I was making the ticker and everything like that, it just did not come up. First pick. Who are we gonna get?
For the
Favorite Jacksonville at Houston. So it's Houston what -2, I think, right? Houston -7. Never mind. What am I
Houston
saying?
-7.
All right. Second pick.
The
The
dog.
dog. Wheel picks. Denver at Jets.
Plus
So it's-
7.5.
Wow, it's picking big spread. So it's got Denver plus 7.5 at the Jets. Over.
Over.
We got New England at San Fran.
39.5.
39.5. And the under. Final pick for the wheel for week 4. Pittsburgh at Indianapolis.
Indiana.
We all have the same under. Pitt
Oh,
at
wait, shit, that
Indy
was
under
us.
40. Yes.
Wow,
So all 4 of us are riding on the same pick.
that's actually amazing. That's making me feel real nervous about it.
So to recap all of our picks, let's try and keep this under a minute. I had my favorite was Arizona -3.5 versus the Washington Commanders. My dog is Minnesota Vikings plus 2.5 at Green Bay Packers. My over is Kansas City Chiefs at LA Chargers over 39. And my under is Pittsburgh at Indiana Colts under 40.
My favorite is Steelers -2. My dog is Buffalo +2.5. I got the over of the Saints-Falcons game of 42 and the under of the Pittsburgh and Colts game 40.
All right, and my favorite was also Steelers -2 versus the Colts. Patriots +10 versus the Niners. Over 50.5 in Cardinals Commanders, and under Steelers Vikings. The Steelers Colts 39.5.
Let's go.
The wheel
The
picks.
under for the boys. Everyone pay attention. That is the under for everybody.
All right, and the wheel's gonna be by itself. Its favorite is Houston -7 versus Jags. Its dog is Denver +7.5 at the Jets, and its over is New England at San Fran over 39.5. Under is Pittsburgh at Indianapolis under 40, along with us.
Hammer Pittsburgh under.
We've always won.
Everybody picks them. That's so funny. I'm excited. If this doesn't hit, that's going to look real bad. Good ep, boys.
See everyone
Good
next
luck,
week.
everybody.
Everyone
with your
start
picks.
watching baseball. All the underdogs are winning right now.
Oh.
All the ones
right.
trying to steal playoff spots.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you
Yep.
next week.
See ya.
See ya.